In today's video, I will give you 5 fragrances that are must-have in your collection. These fragrances are all under $50. They all get good performance, and all of them smell a lot more expensive than what you're actually going to pay for them. And one of these fragrances, you're not going to believe the comment that was left about how much he loved this fragrance. And I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this. First fragrance we're going to go over is from the house of autobiography. Now, I did this video about 2 years ago, and there was a comment left on the video about how much he loved this fragrance. And I'm gonna read it to you. And I also will put it on the screen if you don't believe me. The comment says, I bought Supreme Gold blind buy and bought 5 more a week after. Yeah, that's how amazing this perfume is. To me, it was an amazing experience. Smell awesome, last long, and at least on my skin. That's the proof. I'm telling you, some of these fragrances you might not have heard in this list, but I'm gonna give you 5 banging fragrances. And the comment was about from the house of Paris Corner, the autobiography line, and that's Supreme Gold. Now I'm telling you guys, you want to talk about some sexy, all the sexy date night notes for close encounters and stuff like that. This is a fragrance to get into. Now this starts off with some spiciness of some cinnamon. You also get some spiciness from some black pepper. Smokiness comes up, coming from that labdanum, also from the alabama. And slowly you begin to get this nice tobacco note, making it very smooth. Now the vanilla comes up in the base, and to me it's a very rich, thick, sweet vanilla, followed up by some woody notes and a light, earthy patchouli. And if you're talking about all the notes, that includes date nights, close encounter, sexy, class, these are all in this fragrance. And it's sweet, spicy, woody, with a little smoke, and I kind of classify this as a date night gourmand fragrance. Very lovely, very spicy, very sweet. But if you want a fragrance that fit that description, I'm telling you, check this out. Now, when I purchased this, I bought it from Aroma Concepts. I no longer purchase from Aroma Concepts no more because one time I ordered from, well, a couple times I ordered from them. Came out great. They have like 2 locations. One is in the States, which is in Florida somewhere. If you reach the one that's out of the States, you won't get the fragrance. So just giving you a heads up, but you can find these somewhere around $30, but I'm telling you, this is a nice fragrance to get into. And that's Supreme Gold from the autobiography line, Paris Corner. Coming up next is a house you probably haven't heard of also, but they make some nice fragrances too. And if I could, I'll probably link up some comments coming from this fragrance house, and that house is Azha Perfumes. And the fragrance is Taj Al Oud. And they're a sister branch of Rasasi, so you know exactly that they know how to deal with perfumes. Now this fragrance only have a couple of notes, but to me, they're done right. Now this starts off with a leathery saffron, followed up with a woody oud note. Amber comes up, making it spicy. Patchouli comes up, keeping it earthy. Then at the end, you get a sweet vanilla cream. It's something in here that's making it green also. I think that's patchouli. The patchouli acts as like an earthy kind of green note, leaving this fragrance spicy, earthy, green with some touches of sweetness in the background. Another stunner from the house of Azha Perfume, and that is Taj Al Oud. And if you heard of any of these fragrances that I'm reviewing, let me know in the comment box which one you like, which one you smelled, which one you're interested in. And if you smelled any one of them, let me know what you think about them. And this next one coming up is from a house that is fairly new, I'm imagining. But there's been comments left in some of these fragrances that people have received and love also. And this one that's coming up is probably more niche than the rest of them, because this smell like something probably costs in maybe 100, 200 mark. To me, it's done right, smell really good. And the fragrance I'm talking about is coming from the house of Loui Martin, a Middle Eastern company, and that is Oud Majestic. There's something about this bottle that I really don't like that make it look cheap, but I'm telling you, the fragrance itself don't smell cheap. There's also some sexy notes in this fragrance, starting off with nutmeg. They're adding a lovely spicy note, followed along with cardamom that's adding also some spice. Now sitting in the background is sort of like a leafy green note. Then the lovely part about this fragrance is once it reaches the heart, you get more spices from cinnamon, and you get this ripe, juicy plum note, giving it some fruity sweetness. Then that left with like this incense notes that's lurking in the background. You get some woods, also some cedar wood is also prominent in this fragrance. And the final composition of this is sweet, incensey, it's woody, and it's spicy. Another lovely unheard of gem, and that is coming from the house of Loui Martin, which a lot of you need to check out, and that is Oud Majestic. Now coming up next is a fragrance house I'm sure most of you are familiar with, and you notice the theme about this. A lot of these are Middle Eastern fragrances, which they make some nice gems that's very cost efficient. And this one is coming from the house of Rasasi, and the fragrance I'm talking about is Rasana. Now when I'm at work, this guy always asks me about some nice fragrances that deal with cedar wood, and this is one I always recommend because to me, I love cedar wood also, and then this is done very well. I'll tell you right away, this lemon note in this is gonna be it's probably one of the better lemon notes that you're gonna smell in the opening. It's gonna last probably 5 minutes and then it begins to fade away. But when it fades away, that's when this nice crisp green apple come up. Then in the heart, you get the cypriol note that's making it earthy and leathery. Cedarwood comes up in the base, which is prominent in this fragrance. It's a very nice sweet cedarwood, and you're getting this nice clean musk to top it off. Now this fragrance is very woody, very citrusy, and very fruity. It's one of Rasasi better fragrances, at least from this line, and this is the Quasamot line, but one I really enjoy, really love, and that is Rasana coming from the house of Rasasi. Coming up next is a Middle Eastern fragrance brand that's probably top 3 in my eyes, and especially this line itself, and it's coming from the house of Swiss Arabian, and it's the Wow collection. Now I could have added either one from the Wow collection in this list because all of them are nice from, I mean, you name it, Oud 01, Amber 07, any one of them that you want to pick, but this one I picked for this video. And the fragrance I picked is Ishq. Now you look at the ratings, seem like the women don't like it for themselves and the men like it. Overall, I think it's a very nice fragrance. One thing I like about this collection is the bottle itself. Very nice thick glass, nice metal cap that really look great in your collection. Saffron and cardamom starts this off, so you can imagine the top of this is very spicy. Adding more spice to the fragrance, you're getting this black pepper note. Now when I first spray this with that black pepper, it kind of make me sneeze at first, but all the spices dies down. Then in the heart, you get this carnation note. Now the carnation in this is very sweet, so it's making this whole fragrance very sweet. And that's followed up with some leather and some woods. Now this fragrance is sweet, spicy, leathery, with some wood undertones, and it's floral. And that's coming from the house of Swiss Arabian, that's Ishq. I tell you what, I'm gonna make this 6 for a bonus. So come with me guys, let's take a walk to my cabinet. Now the criteria, they're gonna have to fit under $50, smell great, smell like they cost at least double what you paid for them. So I could add the Air Hair Mains, which are all nice, but they're a little over 50 bucks. Any one of these collage fragrances I could add, but I just recently done a video on those, so I'm not gonna add those. Those are some Loui Martin fragrances that I just recently did a video, so I'm not gonna put those in the video. Either one of those Swiss Arabians I could have added, but I want something different for you guys, so let me see. I was gonna add this, but this is more feminine. I have received compliments, but if you want to see a description on that or a review on that one, let me know in the comments. But what I will add, and this is not my favorite, but it is her favorite, and I haven't sprayed this for test purposes to tell you exactly what notes I get, but so I'm gonna give you a general idea of what this smells like. It's basically a green fragrance, but it's a different type of green. You get some palm leaves, some spices, and some woods. Like I said, it's a good fragrance, but to me, she loves it, and that's why I'm adding this to the list. But if I was judging these from which one I think you should look into first, I'm gonna go from the least favorite to my favorite. It's a good fragrance, not my favorite, but she loves it, so this come in last place. The next one I would say is Taj Al Oud from the house of Azha. Ishq would come in next. Lovely fragrance, but it just don't beat the ones ahead of it. Followed up the house of Rasasi, that's Rasana. Oud Majestic is the most niche, but it's not the best smelling. So my favorite from the list is definitely Autobiography Supreme Gold. Taj Al Oud is the only one from this list that I can't remember receiving a compliment on. And maybe Ishq, but I think I did receive a compliment on Ishq. All of these are great performers. You're going to at least get 8 to 10 hours on each one of them. And they're all the nice fragrances. That's it guys, I hope you enjoyed it. In the meantime, check out this video for more good fragrance reviews. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Everybody stay safe. Come back and see me, and I will see you soon. Peace.